Thank you for watching. I'm John Razimus. In this video, who knows what's going to happen? It's not really planned out. But I'm going to share a dream I had, a lucid dream, in the year 2002, I believe. It's a vivid dream. I've only had a handful, maybe 10 vivid dreams my whole life. So I don't exactly have a dream journal, but I should keep one. That's a good idea. Keep a dream journal. Write those dreams down. This is how the dream went. I was 100% in REM sleep, having a lucid dream, but I didn't know I was having a dream. So I look at my watch, and I see that it's a futuristic watch. It's really big and square and bulky, and it has a huge screen on it. And the screen has a Windows screensaver bouncing around. It's a futuristic looking Windows screensaver bouncing around. I touch the screen and the screensaver stops, and it's literally like Windows, some model of Windows on a watch. I'd never heard of anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. This was 2002, long before these smartwatches, these iPhone smartwatches, or any watches like that. I don't even know if Windows has a competing watch. I've never purchased or even researched those watches, but I have bumped into them at the Verizon wireless store, and I've seen them all over the place because they're common now. And I haven't seen the exact one from the dream yet, because I think the dream is still in the future. Can I see the future? No, I don't think I can, but sometimes we get glimpses of the future. I think it's theoretically possible this lucid dream was a glimpse of the potential future or the actual future. It's really hard to say. But it's definitely the type of watch I would buy in the future. I don't need one now or want one now. It looked really expensive, so perhaps I'm extremely successful and can afford a watch like that in the future. But I looked at the watch, I saw that, I was like, whatever. And then I started playing a video game. And I believe I was playing it on the TV, on the giant screen TV. And I assumed it was a TV, just like playing a Nintendo back in the day, but it could have been a computer monitor, for all I know. So the game I'm playing doesn't exist. It's a futuristic game. What year was it? I have no clue. Other than this game does not exist. Because I'm not a game developer, I don't care to keep the secret. I'm going to share it immediately. It was a Mario Brothers themed game. This Mario Brothers themed game does not exist. It was the coolest game I'd ever played in my life. Looking at it, watching it in the dream, it was extremely awesome. Let me break down what happened in the game. And this is a very short dream. It could have been as short as 50 seconds. I look at my watch, I play a game. I see a couple things in the game, bam, the dream's over. I probably woke up and I was like, man. I thought it was real for a second, and I woke up and back to reality. I'm playing the game. I'm playing a character, Mario or Luigi, one of the Mario Brothers characters. I'm not quite sure. I think he was maybe a customized Mario, maybe a Wario, something like that. And the goal of the game was to build your own castle. Or perhaps castles already existed. See, I didn't get a walkthrough. I didn't get to ask myself in the dream what else happens. I just saw a few seconds of a futuristic video game. If I had to guess, I would say this game existed in the year 2040, 2030, way in the future. It's the reason I focus on Nintendo, on various networks. I downloaded the 2 Nintendo apps, hoping to see any clues of this game. It's an MMORPG, I can tell you that right off the bat. It's a multiplayer game. You play online with friends. I was playing with a controller, I can tell you that. I was playing with a controller. A futuristic Nintendo controller, but it didn't look that futuristic. It looked very similar to, I would say it looked similar to, not a Wii. Definitely wasn't a brick. It was closer to the Nintendo 64, or a little bit later. And it was a little bit bulkier than a Nintendo 64. I didn't get too much attention on what the controller exactly looked like, but it looked like this. And I'm playing the game. I'm a Mario type character, and I have 2 guards at my castle that I own. The castle was built, custom built by me. I get this information non-verbally in the dream. I walk in through the gates of the castle, and there's a dungeon all set up, and I designed the dungeon. And one of the funnest parts of the game is you design your own dungeon. Other players go in the dungeon and they try to defeat your dungeon. And if the other players can defeat your dungeon that you built, customized yourself, they win something. I don't know what they win. Perhaps they get to take over the castle. Some extreme reward, something very big. So I had to attend to the castle and guard it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Many years later, remember this was a 2002 dream. Many years later, there's a game called Chronicles of Illyria that are trying to have a similar watch the game 24 hours a day, when you log out, you're still logged in type scenario. But this isn't a unique idea. A cartoon made fun of it about 15 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago. So I walk in my dungeon, I watch it, I see all the flames, I see all the stuff that I set up, customized myself. Now what does it look like? It's 3D, it's fully 3D, very high quality. It looks cartoony, but not as cartoony as current Nintendo games. It looks a little bit realistic. The 2 mushroom guards I placed, they look like classic mushroom guards, but perhaps a little more realistic. Maybe the textures, we're talking 10, 20 years in the future, the CGI is going to be amazing. This is what I could have seen. The closest game I can describe to the 3D aspect was Minecraft, but it was not blocky like Minecraft. Just the way you look around and see the sky and walk down the road and can build a castle was like Minecraft. But the mechanics were totally different, and the textures and the blockiness didn't exist. It was all perfectly rounded. The castle spires, the castle bricks, windows, they all looked very realistic yet cartoony at the same time. I built the whole thing myself. I knew this. I walked in, I saw it. I think I was worried someone would defeat my dungeon, and I was about to maybe work on some traps, set some more traps. And that's when, bam, the dream ended. But I got to see that much of a game, possibly 10, 20 years in the future. It's almost 2020. 2030, 2040 is not too far away. Let's see if this dream was an actual vision of the actual future. I had a Windows watch. It said Windows on it, I believe. It had a Windows logo. After I clicked the screensaver, it had a Windows logo. That's how I knew it was a Windows watch. It was definitely a Nintendo Mario Brothers game. I pay attention to new Mario Brothers games here and there. I haven't purchased any anytime recently. I especially try to look for MMORPGs, Mario Brothers themed. The closest one would be apps, and maybe here and there you can play with your friends or something. This was a massively multiplayer online game, similar to Minecraft. I've never played Minecraft, but I watched my nephew play it back when he did, and I was like, you know what? That is somewhat similar, kind of like an ancient caveman version of what this Mario game is going to be. So look out. Nintendo's going to come out with the best MMORPG game ever made. The best MMO, hands down. It was amazing. It was awesome to play it even for 10 seconds or 30 seconds or however long I played it in the dream. It seemed too real to be fake. Was it just my imagination? Perhaps. I could tell you this. In 2002, I hadn't played a single game in at least a year, maybe a year and a half. So I wasn't thinking about games, but perhaps I was missing games, and perhaps that was a manifestation of that, but on top of that, in 2002, I hadn't played a Mario-themed game, let alone a Nintendo game, in many years. I owned a Nintendo, the original, and I owned a Nintendo... Yes, I owned a Nintendo 64. I played a few games, bought a few games. I had like 5 games, maybe 4. I had like no games, beat them all, moved on. So in the 90s, I played Nintendo games, but 2002 was considerably after that. I think it could have been the future. It was too detailed with the watch being so close to today's smartwatches. It's kind of common sense to put a computer on a wristwatch, but the detail of the game was amazing. Go to patreon.com/Razimus. Please support this channel. It's growing thanks to you. I have 5 patrons, and when you click in it, you might see 4. I don't know. People, they run out of money too, and they can't donate and pledge all the time too. I'm 100% understanding, and that's totally fine. But if you can spare $1 a month, or just $1 for 1 month, it would really greatly motivate me to make awesome videos, which I'm already planning on doing anyway. But perhaps it does more than just motivate me to make videos. Perhaps it motivates me to actually be positive in my videos. I'm very grateful for everyone that watches this channel, clicks a thumbs up, subscribes, clicks the bell notification, leaves a comment. Even if it's a constructive comment, I thank you for all that you do. I don't have a name for the fans of this channel. I don't have a name. And I consider you guys researchers who investigate the truth just like me. But if you can think of a good name for the fans of this channel, let me know in the comments. Let me know on twitter.com/Razimus. Let me know, because I've seen successful channels have names for their fans. And even though I consider you guys investigators of the truth like myself, who focus on truth, stand for truth, help me come up with a good name. I need a good name. And I'm going to be exploding this channel in a good way. I thank you for watching. This has been John Razimus. Be seeing you.